The logistics industry is a multi-million naira industry, but is faced with a number of challenges. A number of startups such as Ace, Max, and a few others are trying to use technology to bring greater efficiency to the sector. One of such startups is Pt.1, a logistics platform leveraging technology in the logistics industry. Obi Ozo, co-founder Pt.360.com, joins us on the show to discuss the industry.
Tell us how big the logistics industry in Nigeria is today.
So logistics industry, of course, when you look at it from the African market perspective, is about a $300 billion industry, right? Then, of course, logistics is different tranches. So you have the e-courier, you have rail logistics, the trucking, you have the freights, the air, the sea. But the ones probably we might be talking about right now in Nigeria is more of the e-courier and then the trucking part of logistics. So the trucking is about 80 billion logistics wallet across Africa. Nigeria, of course, there is just about $18 billion. The e-courier we project is about 2 billion.
You know, I mean, from my perspective, I look at that logistic industry as a pretty tough industry. So why did you decide to go into that industry?
So of course, the rewards is also big if it's tough. But logistics is the heartbeat of every economy. It has become is so big that at times people don't even think of it again because it's just the foundation. So we know, of course, if e-commerce and the new technology industry will flourish in our continent, we actually need to solve that key underlying factor. And that's what a lot of people have solved abroad. Whether you talk of Vanderbilt, who built the railway, right? There is no way US would have had industrial revolution without a railway to move everything around, including the oil that Rockefeller did. So it is the foundation. Once we figure that out, a lot of businesses in this continent can actually grow.
When you are a startup in this huge industry, how do you plan to bring some changes using technology?
So it's going to be phased. So of course, a startup has some limited capability. You don't have some of the financing or the experience. So, but from the small experience we have and also being open to learning, we know that there are a few things technology can do. For example, in the trucking space or in the e-courier, technology can at least bring transparency to the pricing. With smart algorithms, you can actually be able to predict prices that make sense, that are not just priced out of the blue. Technology can help you aggregate all the capacity in terms of all the trucks across the country and bring them onto one place where every company can actually be able to access it. So of course, the economy is suffering, so people might not have money to be buying trucks. But imagine if we have access to all the trucks available.
The bloodline of the e-commerce industry is certainly logistics. How do you think the e-commerce guys can actually solve that issue?
The e-commerce guys cannot solve logistics. What they need to do...
But they are investing in it.
Yeah, so it might be a wrong move because logistics is a big business that have serious challenges. And one of the problems in logistics is that it requires serious execution and operation. It is not like an industry where you just have an idea, you come in and things will start working. It is key to businesses. In some industry, you might just have your customer. In logistics, especially with the e-commerce, a logistics company actually have two customers. They have the business, which they serve, and the customer of that business, right? So it's not an industry where I encourage any person in e-commerce to jump in. So what we need to do in the logistics space is actually to be able to try to solve that problem. And the e-commerce people need to trust, right, that we're going to solve it. Of course, we can talk about things like cash on delivery and our thoughts on it as well.
As an expert in this industry, how do you think we can solve the riddle of pay on delivery?
Pay on delivery, of course, was not originated by African companies. It started more in India, right? But Indians had to innovate and figure out what works for them. We here have almost like stopped innovating. We basically copied what worked in India, but we also need to modify it to what works in Africa. there might not be issues of people actually running away with things and different things. So, but we have that issue here. So in cash on delivery, our thought is cash on delivery might not be possible to do door to door, right? It might be something where the customers have to come to a safe place and collect these things, right? Because it's jeopardizing the lives of dispatch riders and other things. And then there's really nobody that has key infrastructure